What's up, everybody? It's Brandon. I'm back with another top five Friday, Saturday. When's this coming out? Yeah, I got to skip over top five Thursday just for the fact that it was Thanksgiving. It was hectic. Now we're editing our videos, trying to get this out to you, but we're back, trying to influx a lot of shit again. So here is your top five Thursday, which I, of course, chose Ryan fucking Reynolds. And I'm a terrible person because I forgot who said to try this out. I think it might have been my mom or Kelly because they have the joint Facebook profile. But I looked at this way back on like Tuesday, made up my mind, so that's why. Either way, shout out. I'll fix that actually. I'll figure out who it was as I'm talking. But my number five favorite Ryan Reynolds movie is going to have to be. Y'all ready for this? Safe House. Safe House is an interesting one for sure, and I'll tell you exactly why. It's interesting because it actually hosts something in the movie that I actually despise, and I've come to find that a lot of people do. That would be Shaky Cam. Shaky fucking Cam, bro. A lot of shaky cam in this bitch. Whole lot. But as much as it's used here, I think I saw it at a point before I was like completely fed up with shaky cam. At this point, it was kind of just like, yeah, this is annoying, but at the same time, though, it wasn't as annoying as it is now because they hadn't done, these new martial artists that were, they hadn't ruined a bunch of my favorite martial artists with it yet. It hadn't been as overplayed yet. This is one of the last movies where it didn't really phase me to some extent. And since I already established I like the movie, when I go back, it works well enough for me, although the camera is definitely all over the place. But honestly, I'm somebody that just can't get enough Ryan Reynolds, as most people can't. His wit, his charm, all that shit is on full display here. A little less wit actually than normal, but he's hip, man. He's got the vibes rolling. He's such a likable character always. And then you got Denzel. That's all I need to say. Denzel is a motherfucking god. He's amazing. Who doesn't like Denzel Washington? And to see these two teamed up in a movie is awesome. And I love how in the beginning, it's one way and then it flips it on its head and then it's the other way. If you know what I'm talking about, the relationship between the two people. It definitely, has what's the word? Like there's twists, not like, oh my God, twist, but there's like definitely moments that flip the whole thing on its head that make you think like, oh shit, it's actually going this way, it's going this way, especially with a certain thing that happens at the end. I don't know why I'm talking around this, but I do love the end fight. There's a lot of shaky cam there, but like it was so intense though. Like, and the fucking glass breaking, and then like the guy's trying to stab Ryan Reynolds, and you're thinking Ryan Reynolds might die, but then it flips around and you're like, oh shit, is Denzel gonna die? It's just, there's a lot of like stakes and pressure there in this movie. The suspense is great, the actors are great, cinematography is pretty damn solid too. Shaky cam takes it down a notch, but at the same time works a little bit more for me here for some reason. Can't explain why. Some things we can't quantify. Safe House at number five. At number four, I'm going to roll with a movie that's kind of short-lived for Ryan Reynolds, but he is an integral part at the beginning. Of course, I am talking about Life. Have y'all seen Life with Eddie Murphy? You don't remember he was in this? No. Life, the Alien movie. This is one that I think got looked over. A lot of people hated on it. There was the few and far between. They were like, yeah, it was all right. And there was the very even fewer people that were like, I love this shit. And for me, Alien ripoff, whatever you want to call it, I love this shit. I think Life is an awesome fucking movie. But in saying that, though, it did have its flaws. I'll say this much. Jake Gyllenhaal is somebody I like even more than Ryan Reynolds. He just feels like he kind of phones it in. Every actor in this movie feels like they phoned it in. Ryan Reynolds, though, he was the one person that felt like he brought it. Like, he has just, it's too easy for him. He has that natural fucking spark. And even though he died, and it was kind of early on, he had, that impactful scene. I always love those scenes in movies where like, no, but this is kind of like awesome in a weird, crazy way because they went there. type of thing. Those scenes in movies always stand out to me. And this one had that with Ryan Reynolds. Like, you're thinking Ryan Reynolds is going to be there to the very end. And next thing you know, Ryan Reynolds is getting off early. That shit always has that shock factor that'll punch you right in the motherfucking chest. Like, damn, they just killed off Ryan Reynolds. And he had the most intense scene in the movie. That whole scene with that alien life form just trying to kill it, and like you hear him like being Ryan Reynolds jokey, like ha ha ha, and then you can hear his tone slowly shift to like, this is serious actually. Holy fuck. And then it goes into his mouth. It goes down into his throat. It's fucking intense as fuck. And then he's just spitting out blood. Very, very good, short-lived Ryan Reynolds performance. I really enjoyed him being in this movie. And I low-key love this movie as the thing grows and expands and expands. And then it leaves us basically at the end wondering, like, holy shit, is this thing going to take over Earth now? Where they open that little spacecraft thing that Gyllenhaal escaped in. And he's like, no, go away. And it's expanding because he knows it's going to take over the Earth. It's an intense little fucking horror, one of those ones I think that'll probably develop a cult following too, and probably have a bunch of people like, how is this movie so overlooked with all these great actors? Well, sometimes that happens. I was just watching Copland with Kelly, if this was your suggestion, on Thanksgiving. And on Thanksgiving, I was watching Copland. He was like, I've never even seen this movie before. I'm like, isn't it crazy with these actors? Sometimes it happens. Movies get overlooked despite the cast, and then later on you're just puzzled by it because you're like, damn, that was actually pretty fucking good, wasn't it? Yeah, I think Life is one of those movies. Yeah, number 4 is Life. Number 3 is going to be Free Guy. Free Guy just came out recently. Didn't even get to give myself a knee-jerk reaction for it. Give myself a knee-jerk. That sounded crazy. Let's not even go there with it. Yeah, Free Guy. This one's weird, man, because it's the type of movie that I seemingly always like. And when I was going to this movie, I was like, I'm going to like it. That's a given. But it's the type of movie I never just like flat out love. But it just nailed it. For some reason, it just works. Again, one of those things you cannot quantify. When I'm watching this damn movie, I'm just hooked in. I'm hooked in the entire damn time. I really am. I love the world it's set up. I love Ryan Reynolds in this movie. In a day and age where we don't get movies that are that funny, this has got some pretty downright funny moments in it. The effects on the world that it's building, awesome. Watching just, that relatable guy, even though it's a different type of thing because it's within a video game, you can relate to a guy that just feels like he can't be as cool as this. Like, I'm not the cool guy. I'm the guy in the background. And then one day he takes, life in his own hands and he's like, I'm this guy. And the world is looking at him like, you can't do this, really? It's just a fun, cool little story that is very, in touch with today's times, much like Ready Player One. And the action, pretty damn good when it's there. And that Mariah Carey song, dude. I'll never not think of Rush Hour. It was Sue Young. That, baby, I'm so into you. I can't not think of that. But they murdered it with this song. Even at the end, dude, there's a part, I don't want to necessarily, I can't spoil this one because it's new, where it is a little sad, and that song's playing at a different clip, and it is amazing when it does that. It's just, it finds a way to incorporate this Mariah Carey song into every layer of this movie, sometimes in like different jingles, and it works like a motherfucker. It just works. It just does. It's so fucking good. If you haven't watched Free Guy, you need to watch Free Guy. Yeah, and then like gigantic Ryan Reynolds, that dude was funny as fuck. Or he was funny as fuck. Always gets me. I'm like, same actor? What the fuck? Yeah. And little Leroy Howery or Lauer, what? I'll never remember this dude's name. I don't remember anybody's name. I don't know if you noticed. He was pretty good in this movie. Overall, fucking great movie. All great movies on this list, I would say. Maybe Safe House is a fringe great movie. I think it's great. Number 2, we're going to roll with Deadpool 2. Yes, not the first Deadpool, Deadpool 2. Deadpool, to me, is overrated as fuck. The first one, I mean, it's got all the things I love about Ryan Reynolds, but at the end of the day, when the movie ends, I'm like, didn't suck. I'm just like, damn, this is, a good movie. I liked it. Really good, maybe. Really enjoy it. But even then, there's something that's just missing. And to this day, I don't even know what that is exactly. But I do know this much: when they rebooted and fucking put back on the Deadpool suit, Ryan Reynolds did, and did Deadpool 2, where a lot of people like Deadpool 1 better than Deadpool 2, but Deadpool 2 is celebrated. I was so much more into the second one. The second one was amazing to me. It became one of my favorite superhero movies. I love Josh Brolin as the villain. I think Ryan Reynolds is even better here. I think the action is even better here. The coolness, the self-awareness, everything. It just feels like it took everything from the first and did it a little bit better. If you do that, you end up with a better movie. So I'm sorry, Deadpool 2 is better to me. And yeah, that's all I'll say about that. Deadpool 2 is great. I love the opening where it's got like the James Bond type opening and Deadpool's like just like dancing around. Like, you know what I mean? Old school James Bond flick. It's got that vibe going. I love that. It's just, oh man, the self-awareness, everything. It's perfect. It's so well done. Deadpool 3. Gonna be hard pressed to beat that shit. All the inside jokes. TJ Miller's great again. The one kid that's just like this fucking nuclear bomb, basically. It can off anybody. He was intense. The ending with, Deadpool sitting there like he's about to die, and he just keeps like, actually, I'm not dead yet. All that shit. So fucking good. Love Deadpool 2. Deadpool 2 will be at number 2. And number 1 is going to be Buried. Buried is the tricky one. Because there are people that are just like, really? That's how it ends? Oh man, it only takes place in one spot. Miss me with that shit. This movie is phenomenal. And Ryan Reynolds acting, this is one of the first times I was like, yeah, I knew he could act, but I was like, this motherfucker can act, was this movie. For him to carry this whole fucking role for 90 minutes in a fucking coffin, drop the mic right there, dude. Caught it. But if I did drop it, that's what, he has to do right there, because that's phenomenal for you to be interesting. I have, blah, blah, blah. See, I can't even talk. See what I mean? Prime example. I have a hard time saying interesting for, 15 minutes, however long this video is. This motherfucker did it for 90, looking intense and shit. Give yourself a round of applause, Ryan Reynolds. And there's really not much going on. He's just trying to get the phone to work with the signal. He's got like a lighter. He's fucking looking at shit. He's carving shit into the top of the coffin. One time a fucking snake gets in. Can things get any worse? Yeah, I mean, Jesus. And just you can feel it. It's one of those movies you feel like you're in the coffin with him. Like, scoot over, Ryan Reynolds. Why'd you shut that? I don't know. Yeah. And you're in the coffin with him. And when you're stuck in there, you're sitting there and you can't fucking breathe with him. And he's like, like just imagining how that feels. And I'm claustrophobic. I would have been dead a lot sooner. That's all I'm saying. But then again, I'm not fucking Ryan Reynolds. And dude is a legend. Who doesn't like Ryan Reynolds? And I didn't even put any of his comedies in here. Dude, Just Friends, under fucking rated. Know what else underrated? The fucking Change Up. I said it. Caught it again. I'm a fucking G. But yeah, that's my top 5. I think so. Yes. Love you guys. I don't match. I don't care. Gremlins. Carolina Panthers. Every day, everywhere. See y'all. Love y'all.